32.
All right, I think we can go ahead and call to order at 6:32 p.m.
Recording in progress.
All right, if everyone could mute who's in the room. Thank you, Sarah. All right, so welcome everyone to our first board meeting of the year. My name is Kate George, and I'm the new secretary of the board of directors here at IMO and IMHS. It is my first time running one of these board meetings, so I hope you'll be patient with me as I make mistakes. I've got my emotional support, Marissa, to my left here, so she's going to help me as I fumble my way through here. Okay, and thank you all so much for coming out tonight. We've got some guests in the room, some staff, some students. So I just wanted to give a quick overview of what we're going to review tonight and what the guidelines are for attending these meetings. So we will have a full agenda tonight where we're going to walk through several different topics. I will walk through those before we begin here. But we do have a part in our evening where we allow time for public comment. So if anyone who is online or in the room would like to make a comment, I know we've already got someone who's signed up. So anyone who would like to make a public comment during that time, we'd love to hear from you. You have up to 3 minutes, and we did discuss. What's your full name? Stan. So we've got an Eagle Scout speech, a potential Eagle Scout speech here. So we might get a little bit extra time for that, just to make sure that he's able to finish his speech. We also have some potential board candidates here, so we'd love to have you introduce yourselves when that time comes. Aside from that, we do ask that we keep the discussion limited to the members of the board. So you are welcome to submit chats if you have any questions during our conversation, but we do ask that the discussion itself is kept to the board members outside of that public comment time. So please reach out with any questions. All right, now I'm going to walk through the agenda. This was linked on the Zoom invite, and it is public record on boarddocs.com, so everyone is able to access that and see that through that link. First, we're going to make sure that we've got our quorum here, which I see that we do. Next, in our next section, we're going to have our time for public comment. So that will be when we invite everyone who would like to give that comment. After that, we're going to review several sets of meeting minutes from our last board meeting of last summer, plus 2 special sessions that we had during the summer to approve documents that needed to be approved before the school year started. We're then going to take a vote on the extension of Stacey Williams' term with the board. After that, we're going to have our admin team's update. I know Kathy's not able to make it, but we've got Eileen here and we've got John. So we're going to get our admin updates. After that, we've got a PTO update from Karen, a finance update. We have a section to talk about additional board topics, including approving our 25-26 board of directors meeting schedule, talking about our board goals for the year. We have a platform migration for the platform we use right now to show our meeting documents. And then we've got to discuss scheduling interviews for our potential board candidate. After that, we'll have our committee updates, our president's update, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. So feel free to drop a chat if you have any questions. I've got Marissa monitoring the chat, and let's get rolling here. Okay, so first up, we've got our public comments. So would you like to be the first public comment for us tonight?
Great. So I would like to make a proposal to create a new chess club, like one has existed when I was in 5th grade. And for a chess club to exist, we need a sponsor, which is the main problem. And I'll give out a basic outline of what a chess club can look like and what my brother or Sid wants it to look like. So a chess club is basically a club where kids play chess together, and sometimes they're competitive. Last time there's a chess club at the school. It was not competitive, and a bunch of the main problem for it was that there's too many children. There was around 20 to 30 kids in the club. So it caused chaos, and we couldn't really focus on teaching them how to play chess. It was more like Tuesday afternoon babies, well, no, babysit. And so what a chess club looks like, as I learned in my new school that I joined this year, or the club I joined this year, is that they're organized, they have an agenda, they know what to teach, and they teach it. They also take the whole team or members of the team to tournaments like OCPS we did when I was in the chess club. I would like to say that for my brother, this chess club, he wants to target as 10 children max, and for the grades of 3 to 5. Unfortunately, sixth grade might not be included since they only have 1 year and they're going to move on to IMHS the year after. So basically, what he wants to do with it and what it can benefit from is it can help the kids learn problem solving skills, critical thinking, and focusing, which will help their schoolwork, like I did sometimes when I was in Turin. And due to from my note, what I noticed while I was in the school is that the peers here, they have a humongous amount of potential, but sometimes they just disrespect the teachers. And this is what I noticed while I was here for 8 years in IMO. And during that time, I feel like if right now for students here to benefit from it, that we could teach them some skills, not only to respect the teachers here, but also the students. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good.
Okay. Does anyone else in the room or online like to make a public comment?
I think Chris Comstock wanted to introduce himself. He
Yes.
was potential
Is
candidate.
he here? Okay.
Yeah, fine.
And Karen will want you to
Karen,
introduce yourself
yes.
as well. But yeah, Chris, if you wouldn't mind coming off mute and introducing yourself first, that'd be great.
Hello, Chris Comstock. Very nice to see everyone. And yeah, I'm just excited to hear what goes on here so I can learn more about the meeting.
All right. Chris, are you able to share a bit about your background and your interest in joining the board? Is that would now
Sure.
be the
Yeah, I have a sorry, I did not have something prepared real quick.
No.
I've worked in finance for the better part of about 25 years. Undergrad in finance and got my MBA at the University of Georgia. So that is my background on the finance side. But I mean, I'd be interested potentially in, wherever maybe the need was, or if it's in, finance or support in the finance portion of the board, be happy to, look at that as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
And Karen, could we get an introduction from you as well?
Karen Carlson, have a son in, Da Vinci, first grade, and a son in Mandela, fifth grade. I been at the school for a while. My daughter did K-8 here, and she's heading off to college Friday. Professionally, I just stepped down from role of president at a national education foundation where I was for 15 years. I reported to a board myself for 15 years, so I well understand the sort of dynamics between board and leadership and the challenges and opportunities there. My skill base is in marketing, PR, communications, websites, visual storytelling. Seems like so long ago, I went to Northwestern University in Chicago, for my undergrad, and I got a master's here at UCF as an adult, which is not easy, in digital media. I've run IT teams, marketing teams, and been in leadership and nonprofit. I'm seeking to join the board. I was a board member in the past, more than 10 years. And IMO has just always had a big pull on my heartstrings. And I just love to get more involved. And, you know, I served when I was younger and less experienced, and I think I could be a much even better board member now than I was many moons.
Thank you, Karen.
All right, great. And was there anyone else in the chat who wanted to make a public comment?
Nope, Dr. Pagani gave you a shout out. Good chat, great speech.
Yes, wonderful. All right. Yeah, and just a reminder to anyone who's listening who didn't have anything to share today, if you ever do want to speak in the future or send a comment in advance, you can email it to me at sec.bod@innovationmontessori.com, and we can read that out loud as well if you don't like speaking in public. All right. Well, thank you so much. I think we can go ahead and move to our prior meeting minute review. So I did send those out in advance. I don't know if y'all got a chance to look at them, but we did have you know, a pretty significant set of them. So the first one was for our June Board of Directors meeting, and that was our end of year closeout from our 24-25 year. So did anyone have any questions or comments about that one?
Looks good for me.
Okay. Do you have any motions to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the June minutes.
Okay,
All those in favor?
aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
June moves on.
All right. After that, we had a special session in July, and let me just remind myself what the topic of that one was. So just so folks listening are aware, we get documents periodically that have to be signed by a deadline, and that deadline is never conveniently, you know, right after our board meeting. So occasionally over the summer, we need to have some meetings to make sure we get those documents into OCPS on time. So this one in July was reviewing the mental health plan and the school code of conduct. So were there any questions or concerns about that set of minutes?
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the July minutes. Second that.
Okay,
All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, minutes are passed for July. It's nice to have them all in advance.
yes, all right. And our last set was last week. We got together on a quick call, and that one was to approve. Well, just remind myself here. Okay, this was some of the safety policies. So we did talk through those, and we all signed off on those. Any questions or concerns about that discussion?
Just checking on there. I didn't see anything that needed to be omitted. That was my only.
Oh,
double check,
before we
but
publish
yeah,
them. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are good.
Okay. Right, because for safety reasons, some of that is
Yeah.
private.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Any other questions or concerns about that set of minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the special committee meeting on the 15th.
I'll second.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, minutes are approved.
All right. Excellent. Thank you all for.
Thank you,
those over.
Kate.
Okay. So next up on the agenda, we do have a vote. So Miss Stacy Williams has been on our board since July 2019. I looked it up today. So yeah, so Stacy has served 2 terms on the board. So we have 3-year terms. And then after each 3-year term, our board members can be voted for an extension, and they can get up to 3 extensions. So this
Don't look at me like
this would potentially be Stacy's 3rd term with us. So does anyone have anything they want to discuss or any?
Is that a 3-year extension or a 1-year extension? How does that work?
3-year
There'll be a
3
3. So,
First
yeah.
year. It's just a year.
Oh, right.
But after that first year, then you extend it for 2 more to fill up the 3-year term, and then it's a full 3 years after that. It's a little wonky in the beginning.
Yes, so this would be a 3-year term, so Stacy would be serving through July 2029. That sound about right?
The ability to.
The ability
Okay,
to.
yeah.
Yes.
It's not forced servitude.
Well, I would really enjoy Stacy's leadership for at least another year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm fully supportive of your extension.
Thank you.
I would second that as well.
I can't make my own
Would anyone like, oh, wait,
The motion to approve.
all right, thank you, Simon.
That's for Stacy.
motions. Thank you,
second
Simon.
that.
Look, he's catching on quick. He's got this
Yeah.
down now.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Welcome back, Stacy. Okay. All right. Well, next up on our agenda, we have our admin team reports. So I'd love to turn it over to you all to give us your updates. We can't wait to hear how the beginning of school is going.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna kind of go around and I have a couple online as well. So Stephen, you're the first one, so we'll give you a report.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So this is the end of my busy season as a division. So I'm really excited to see everybody back. Some really cool updates that we had over the summer, starting with facilities. We spent over 150 gallons of paint to paint every single classroom, every single hallway space that our kids use across the North Lakewood campus. It looks beautiful. Go see the classrooms. The kiddos love it. And I think the teachers are really appreciative of that. Despite having some, kind of unforeseen staffing challenges, Mr. Tito and his crew just pulled out all the stops to get it done. Shout out to Miss Taryn, one of our wonderful parents, John and Kathleen over at the high school for painting hallways and stuff with us, and Kathy and Eileen for helping move furniture, all the teachers for coming in and doing their part to get their classrooms ready. Like, it was a total team effort, and we appreciate that. But they are looking forward to some nice kind of quiet evenings now that the kids are back. For base, we had our hugely successful Camp Lakewood. We did a new format this year, but I talked about kind of in 2-week blocks, and our participants really liked that. So we're going to do that again for next year.
How was our participation this year versus,
A little better.
yeah,
Yeah, we're still kind of picking up from the 2 years where we did construction and that kind of stuff where we didn't have Camp Lakewood. I think next year will be more so. This year was really refining the model and making sure that it made sense for what we're trying to do. Highlights of that were show choir and soccer. So, the kids love that despite it being 100 degrees outside.
Do we open that for students outside school, right? That's an option?
We have not. We can consider that, but we really want to make it available to our kiddos who are already kind of ingrained in Montessori philosophy.
Yeah.
That way they know what they're getting into when they come here.
Mhm.
So kind of piggybacking off of the success of Camp Lakewood, clubs are going to roll out. We're going to announce them next week. But you get a preview. The first set of clubs will be theater with Mr. Richard, soccer shops. We're really excited about that one. Show choir with Miss Piper. And all of that's kind of leading towards a winter concert performance that I think is scheduled for Wednesday, December 17th. So we're excited to welcome everybody back into the NPR and do an actual performance with the kids. One thing I just want to highlight, I was here late today and I watched some of the work being done in base. We talk about that being the enriching part of their day. We're not school. We've already done that. So I got to see dinosaur hand drawings today in primary and see the pride that the kids put into their artwork. They love the program. They love what they're doing. So we want to encourage more of that. Lunch. Miss Brittany gave me some notes. The biggest start to the year for the lunch program. Over 270 participants are receiving meals daily, and the feedback has been absolutely wonderful. So we pulled some stats. When you look at the program, we're up almost 60% growth in that program since switching the catering company 2 years ago and replacing Meals on Wheels. The kids love the food, and they seem to be pretty happy about that.
The new ordering system is beautiful.
Yeah,
It is
Good.
so easy to use. Oh my gosh.
that's fantastic. We
Yeah.
love hearing that.
Yeah.
Ms. Brittany also asked me to say that Pizza Friday will return again this year
Yeah.
after the Labor Day break. So I know all the kids are excited for that. My world, technology, and I know Dr. Pagnotti's gonna talk on this a little bit. We rolled out iPads finally to our secondary campus. That was yesterday. I gotta tell you, it was one of the smoothest tech rollouts I've ever been a part of. Incredibly excited about that. There's always small little hiccups anytime you're pushing that many devices out. But we are very excited about how that's gonna look. Big shout outs to John and Kathleen, Allison and Kavita for really being on the ground there, working with the kids, make sure everybody's set up. Kind of the highlight of that for me was I've already gotten emails from our high school kiddos asking for apps. And not just, I want to go play games or I want to do this with my tablet. It's, this is what I want to create. This is how I do it. So when we talk about the donor event we did last year, we really talked about the ability for students to create. We already see that. Like we already are seeing that level of engagement. So we're really excited about that. I think that's going to go really well.
How are we doing on base enrollment versus staff? Are we at full capacity?
We have openings. We're never going to be at full capacity.
Okay,
I'm a little higher than I was last year, but as I get more participants, I'm going to hire more staff. So ideally, I would love 600, 800 kids to participate in base. Like we want to make that a program that's enriching for everybody.
Yeah. So there's no longer
Yeah.
caps. There used to be.
there used to be, yes, competitive.
There is not a cap. There's not going to be a cap. The challenge has always been how do we offer that at a value for our staff? So we were able to offer the tuition at half price this year for our staff. You know, but as far as students, as long as I have students want to come, then I'm going to find staff to make that program for them.
And we can deal with inclement weather, like, if,
Absolutely.
okay.
Having
Like, I
this-
didn't know if they were in the classrooms or only using the
No,
MPR.
having this space back is really helpful. But when we start getting into clubs, we will push out into the music space, the art space, you know, to do all of these activities. We're trying to stay away from using the classrooms
Yeah,
because we want teachers to have planning time and stuff. And we really shouldn't need to do that. Sure. Anything else? That's all for me.
Thank you, Steve.
Mhm.
And the team for all their hard work to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
classrooms and schools ready. It was beautiful, you know, just walking through the halls, except for where John painted. Everything else was fantastic. Love you, John.
It
Lily, do
was
you have-
pretty bad. I mean, I had a lot of drips on mine. It's
I
true.
knew he
Not
wasn't
even
gonna be
lying.
able to stay quiet.
I couldn't. I'm not even gonna deny it. There was paint all over the floors. I had to like use scrapers. It was embarrassing sometimes. But it's all right. We did it.
It looks great.
Do you have anything related other than, I know we're gonna do budget later, or anything finance that you want to share?
Finance. Well, I mean, since they were talking about the new system,
Yeah.
yeah, so that was a pretty big undertaking over the summer. Took a little bit of getting used to, and we're still getting used to it and trying to help our parents as much as we can. But I'm really glad to hear that you guys like it, and so that was the whole plan with that. As far as finance, I'll just wait until
Okay,
we get to the budget.
Alicia, anything like that?
just been focusing on hiring. We've processed about 55 employees, whether that has been people shifting within our staff or onboarding new people. And we're still working through that. We are hiring a part-time Spanish teacher. I know someone, and we're moving along. So.
Do you have any hard to fills? Or is the part-time Spanish teacher your only?
That's the one right now.
Okay.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good news.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Eileen, I will let you, since Kathy's not on here, you'd like to share any updates?
Of course. Hi, guys. If when Kathy watches it, we are wishing her well. Unfortunately, the first few days of school cold got to her. So hopefully she's back later this week. But it has been like such a wonderful start to the year, truly, in so many ways. The work that was done over the summer to make the building like so beautiful is really appreciated. And then to have like going with what Alicia said, we have a wonderful staff. We have been incredibly lucky to find people that we have to fill the positions. We're feeling in a great space, with staff, with support that we can give to students and to teachers. Um, and then to see the kids come back, like there's so much excitement. And I think Kathy had shared this that the first day we do the staggered start for our primaries. So our kindergartners came back and we're walking through the classrooms, and there was two kindergartners who had got out the 1,000 chain. If you're familiar with our primary classrooms, it's a huge chain, a skip counting work they're doing. And their teacher said they were so excited. Like they walked in and said, I'm just so ready. And we've truly seen that across all classrooms as teachers are saying the kids are just so happy to be back, really ready to get to work. We've seen a lot of wonderful community building. Heather and Melissa and I got to go to a lower elementary class today where we saw the first grade lesson, and the teacher had the third graders were helping with all the experiments, and the first and second graders were the audience. And we just love that because this is it, all the great lessons. They're so foundational to our Montessori curriculum. They really set students up to explore all of our subject areas. And as third graders, they've already seen that lesson twice, and now they kind of get to be part of it. So it's a real responsibility, a leadership role that they take on early in the year and then continue throughout the whole year. So it's fantastic to see that. We also with Carline, I know we always talk about Carline. By the fourth day, we were down to 40 minutes in the afternoon. Like it's unheard of. If you have been with us for a while, you'll remember 2 hour and a half car lines, even the second week of school. And just huge shout out to our TAs. It is insanely hot outside, and to our student services staff that helps out. It is so hot. It is miserable. Of course, they're staying hydrated. But just really appreciate them, appreciate all of our families who are kind as well during that time. We're just trying to safely get every student home. And it's been fantastic this year. So it's really going wonderfully. I did want to just make sure this was on everybody's calendar, that the elementary is going to be doing their open house on September 24th. We are going to do it all in one night. We have staggered. So primary and lower elementary will be 5 to 5:45. And then upper elementary is 6 to 6:45. And that is in the classrooms. It is an adult only event where teachers are giving a presentation to talk about classroom expectations, talk about schedule, talk about lessons, curriculum. So we'd love for all of our families to put that on their calendar. And then after the upper elementary one, I know Miss Anna in sixth grade has already been planning the sixth grade overnight trip. That's something that all the sixth graders look forward to. And there will be a quick meeting after open house, so around 6:45, 7, on that night for any of our families in sixth grade who are interested on the trip. And so I think that's all for now, but we're off to a wonderful start. So we are so excited for this year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eileen.
So I'm just texted Hilda and said, can I put you on the spot? And ask her just to share how things are going in CASA and primary and any update. So are you there, Hilda? Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I was having some technical difficulties. What
Sorry.
would you like to know? Go ahead.
I said, sorry to put you on the spot. Could you just share kind of some of the things that's happening in CASA?
Sure. We had a really great start. Like Eileen had mentioned, we did our staggered start, which has really been outstanding for the children. Helping them normalize has become a real asset to the teachers. They get to know the children and on a more personal level that way. We did really well with our 3-year-olds. We didn't have a lot of crying, and our 4-year-olds took it like troopers, and we're happy to see the teachers and got right to work. We've had a great transition into the first 2 weeks, and everybody's happy And so overall, the playground, the addition to the AstroTurf on the playground has been wonderful. A shout out to Miss Taryn and my son Devin for helping me with the playground and putting 10 bags of 50-pound bags of sand in the sandbox and repairing some benches and things like that. Without their help, I couldn't have done that. We've had a positive start. The base program is flowing really well. They're using the facilities. We've got a great setup right now, and I think we're moving at a great tick right now.
Thank you, Alda.
Thank you so much, Hilda.
Yeah, no worries.
John, would you like to go?
Sure. I will start off by saying that there's very little crying happening at the secondary as well. The only people that are crying are Kathleen and I every, no, I'm just
You
kidding.
don't count, yeah.
No, it's been a great start. But before I give a little update about what we're doing over at the secondary and how awesome and I'm glad to see that everybody else is having the same experience in terms of how awesome we're doing. I was going to introduce our brand new assistant principal, Kathleen Robinson. She has been an amazing thought partner and just an all-around great asset to the team. And I know it's only been about a month since she's been on, but it's been positive. But I'll let her talk about herself and introduce herself to everybody, and then I'll go ahead and kind of give more updates. So, Kathleen, the floor is yours.
You're on mute, Kathleen.
You're still on mute, Kathleen. I'm sorry.
There it goes. Sorry. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, John, for the introduction. I'm very excited to be here. It's felt a little bit like a whirlwind, but feel like now it's starting to smooth out a little bit. We had a great start to the year so far, so I'm grateful for that. But a little bit about me. This is year 20 for me in education. I have a blended family with my husband. We have 4 kiddos in total. I have 2 stepdaughters, age almost 22 and just turned 20. I have a almost 18-year-old. He'll be 18 in a week and a half. So if I'm crying next Friday, everybody knows why. He is also a senior in high school. So if I cry all year, you all know why. Just know that's why. My tears probably have to do with that. And then I also have a 9-year-old daughter as well who just started 4th grade. I am also married to an educator. My husband teaches 5th grade math and science in Seminole County. And so we are a family of educators. I'm also the daughter of a retired high school teacher as well. So when I started in education 20 years ago, I was also a high school teacher and moved into, after I don't know how many years, 10 or so years, I moved into a dean role. I was a high school dean for 3 or 4 years. And then when I moved, I'm originally from I grew up in Winter Park. And after I graduated from UCF, I moved to East Tennessee. So I started my career there. I lived there for 17 years. We moved back here. We actually closed on our house the week everything shut down for COVID back in Florida. And then I have worked as a district administrator in both Seminole and Orange County for career and technical education. And then I've also been a middle school assistant principal for a little over 3 years as well. So I'm coming in with lots of kind of different hats I've worn over the years. I'm very excited. I absolutely love teenagers, so I'm very excited to put my hands in middle and high school at the same time because my love really falls into, I love them both for different reasons. Although I don't know that I ever would want to teach middle schoolers. I really enjoyed being an assistant principal of middle schoolers. So I'm excited to kind of take the things that I know and learn and grow. I'm learning. I have a lot to learn myself coming in to I've never been in a charter school. I've never been in a Montessori. So I'm learning and growing myself while also making sure that our teachers and our kids have everything that they need. So I'm really excited to be here. I appreciate everybody's support. But if you see me crying, now you know why.
There's no crying in baseball.
Oh, it's basketball. There's lots of crying. My son plays basketball.
So we both have seniors at the same time. So there's a lot of sharing of the emotions this year. So it's going to be awesome. Thank you, Kathleen. And I will say that she has jumped right in and, you know, we're already in classroom. She's taking care of a lot of our safety and security things already. And she's learning she's really getting to know the kids. And that's something that I know that Kathleen does excel at. It. She gets to know the kids real quick and she's already started down that road. So it's been a great first couple of days with her, you know, working together with her. Over at the other building. So it's been a lot of fun. So kudos and thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
So a little bit of the update. I do have some awesome updates. I do want to start by saying that it has been a really and I would say this is year 23 or 24 for me. 25, I can't. It's been 20 plus, and this is probably the smoothest year to a start of the year that I've ever experienced as either a teacher or an administrator. And this may not sound like a big deal, but every day, not only last week, but moving into this week, not only have lunches been on time, we've gotten everything served on time and everybody out with time to spare. Like that is amazing. And that's a kudos to Kavita. That's a kudos to all the kids. And, you know, it's been a really smooth kind of process. Kids have been, we don't have everybody late, you know, during the day. It's been a really smooth and very chilled kind of start to the year. I think that there's a reason for that is that we really took the time at the beginning of the year to start to build community. I think that's something that we realized that there was an opportunity for us to really deepen our Montessori roots. And last year we started off with kind of like a seminar, like a conference for students where they got to experience, you know what, because there's a lot of new kids to our program. So we wanted to make sure that they could be versed in some of the tenets and the pillars of Montessori kind of experiential education. And it's been it was a really good week. Kids were, I don't know if some people might have seen kids outside working, and we saw kids rotating through classrooms in their homerooms, and it was a really special experience. You know, we didn't get to the academics necessarily, but we did cover Socratics and how to kind of go through those processes in class, and which kind of allowed us to get into the kind of the more academic side all together on the same page. And that's what happened this week, right? This week we're back into the groove, so to speak, and it's been a really smooth process. I know Melissa and I got to walk into a few classrooms today. Kathleen and I have been walking into classrooms all week, and knock on wood, we've been in lots of classrooms already, which has been special, and we've seen a lot of good stuff going on. In terms of it was the sixth day of school and there were full Socratics going on and discussions of and Krause's like it was the AP art history. They were talking about really important meaty subjects and they were doing so in a very collaborative environment. So it was good to see that we kind of slowed down a little bit. So now we can really move fast. And I think that also kind of, you know, it started the week before pre-plan, right? We had our teachers come back and have a Montessori grounding. So we wanted to make sure all of our teachers also had a lot of, are really comfortable with our Montessori program so they can implement it on day one. So we do have a lot of several new teachers and they've been a really, just a phenomenal group of folks that are coming in and ready to get to work for our students. And they've been really, I don't know, it's solution oriented. They really want to fix things and make sure everything works. And it's been a really awesome experience so far. Again, when you have lunches on time, that's amazing. I also want to say thank you to Stephen and Allison and Convita and you know, just for getting our iPads and our technology up and running. That's a lift. And that happened again smoother than I'd ever seen a technology rollout happen before. So it's been a really great start. I can't wait to see what, you know, in the next month, what it looks like. But again, I'm very confident and that we're just going to be able to report on some really awesome things. It's a really fantastic year so far. Can't complain. And I mean that.
Hey, John, how's the difference in time start? How's that going? It's starting.
It's been phenomenal. The kids don't get, you know, they're only outside for 15 minutes. I know there's been some kids that are why we have to start this early. And once you tell them the why, that we had to make sure that we had enough time, there hasn't been a lot of pushback at all. The kids do like getting out 10 minutes early, which is nice. And I think that the schedule is they're kind of like, not, they didn't understand the schedule, but this is day 2 and they're already kind of normalized. Oh, I get it. Yesterday was an A day. Today's a B day. Tomorrow, Wednesday will be an A day. And then next week will be a B day. So it's actually it hasn't been as big of a deal as it could have been. And the kids are, they're responding.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you, John. And then I have asked Melissa to kind of share what she's been working on at both campuses with PLCs, MTSS, and all that fun stuff. So Melissa.
Awesome. Well, good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Melissa Palin, and I am so happy to be part of the IMO team as Director of Montessori Development. We have had an amazing summer and start to the school year. I'll touch on a few pieces. So much teamwork going on, so much development of Montessori at both Montessori practices across campuses. I want to give a shout out to both principal teams. We have really strong principal teams at both campuses, and we had a fantastic administrative retreat over the summer where we were able to really focus on action planning and in three key areas. So the community, the culture, and the academics. And so we have really strong action plans going on in both campuses, and I'm really happy to be supporting with both of those and the cross-campus communication. So yeah, from hanging curtains for a Montessori practice, we have a lot of new staff, and a really huge shout out to Natalie Z and Allison at the secondary campus. I had the absolute pleasure of collaborating with them on the Montessori grounding in the summer. So we had 2 days, and really the new staff and an amazing existing team who've been part of the secondary for a variety of different amounts of years, just lots of expertise and sharing of Montessori best practices like essential questions and developing study guides and Montessori terminology, for example, Erdkinder, connecting students to the land and connecting all the academics and focusing on whole child development or whole adolescent development. So that was amazing, and you could just feel the energy of community going on within those Montessori grounding days and the strong teacher leadership. So those days were so powerful, and that just spilled into the pre-planning where the teachers were hanging curtains and developing their Montessori prepared environments in the secondary. So that was so amazing. And so just another shout out to Kathleen and John for fostering that teacher leadership and really letting that come to light, because our teachers are incredible. And that's something that I've seen at both campuses, from sitting in the classroom with Eileen and Heather today, with that Montessori great lesson, to the secondary where Cyrus is on the call tonight, going out there and the students in the secondary going out and taking care of the campus grounds. And so I see those really strong foundational elements of community at both campuses. So in terms of some of those action planning steps that we have, so we are working on building out our Montessori academics at both campuses, and lots of cross-campus collaboration on that. And one of the ways that we're really focusing on developing that is through teacher leadership in professional learning communities, where teachers are engaging in rigorous planning with their Montessori curriculum. So we're really excited about that. the leadership teams at both campuses, we came together in the summer and we looked at how important it is to have collective teacher efficacy, where teachers feel that they can make that difference and that they can impact the student achievement through that high quality rigorous planning. And so we've already begun that with professional learnings at campuses, and that's going to continue throughout the year. So the teachers are engaging in some book studies, teacher facilitators of professional learning communities at both campuses. So that's going to be coming up about this year. And then we have MTSS. So that's a multi-tiered system of supports, and we have a lot of cross-campus collaboration. That's one of the goals that we have, is to get that communication across campuses, and so that's going really strong, where we have Kathleen Robinson, who, you know, is our new secondary assistant principal. So she comes with a background with MTSS. And then we have Sheila, who's our new MTSS coach at the elementary campus. So the three of us, we attended some professional learning, and we have some book studies that we're doing. And we worked with the principals to develop a collaborative draft of a 3 to 5 year plan of this multi-tiered systems of support. And we're really excited about that across both campuses. So we have a lot of exciting things going on, and it's been an amazing start to the school year with lots of community building. It was so exciting seeing the students come in and just run to their classrooms, and the sparks flying among the teachers and the students. So we are very excited about the work that we're engaging in collectively this year.
Thank you so much, Melissa. So as you can see, it's been a busy summer. So I'm just going to recap a few things that, you know, they've already kind of touched on. I shared with you 2 documents on Parent Square. One was the 5-year goal. If you recall, this time last year, we did a 5-year plan. And so I wanted you to be able to kind of see where we fell on that 5-year plan. So we, as you know, set some goals. You'll see it says year 1 and what we had said we wanted to do by the end of year 1. So it's funny, you know, when we looked at it, we had said last year that we wanted all 3 through 8th grade students to score 50%. I'm excited to say we were at 61%. So we met that goal, with 6th grade being the highest. They scored 83, and then 3rd grade, 42%. The other goal was that 67% of our ELA, and you'll see that we hit that goal as well. And then there was things that we needed to, what's the highest and the lowest, and what we need to work on. We talked about science. Science, we did miss. Our goal was 63%. We were at 59. So we did drop a little bit in science. However, I do have to shout out our bio was 86%. So that is really great, but we knew that was kind of going to be a focus that we had to focus on. And then you can see how our ESE population was. And so we had a goal of 29% for math, and we did 36. And then, but we had a goal of 40. And so we did take a hit to 35.1. It's kind of funny, the things you focus on, and the other, so it's our balance is getting both content areas up there. So then you'll kind of see the strategies that we had listed out. Some of this I'll say that it's delayed or continuing. And so you'll see that on our big rocks that we're going to talk about. And then you'll see year 2 all the way down to 5, our goals for those big areas. So while I'm showing you all of that, is first of all, I want to make sure that all of our community knows that we do have goals, and we had a 5-year plan for that. So it's definitely not something that we're just like, oh, we're not going to do. I do also want to say, I don't know if we made big as deal as we probably should. So we're looking at trying to get it on the website that we are an A-rated school. And I think, that's a lot of work. I know state testing is not everything, but it's really nice to say that, hey, we're an A-rated school, but now we have to stay there, but continue to fill in those gaps. So then, as you heard Melissa mention, we did action planning. So at our administrative retreat, and then we've had a couple meetings since then. I did not share with you the whole action plan document, but I did share with you our goals, our big ideas for the elementary, then secondary, and then also overall PLC. And so you can kind of see just a quick snapshot. So at elementary, their big idea one is really focusing, increasing math achievement, and then also developing an impactful Montessori aligned system for MTSS. And so they went in and put specific, they want to increase by 5%, and then also reduce the number of kids that are falling into our tiers for MTSS. The other was a safe and healthy culture, and definitely supporting and facilitating opportunities for the cross-campus connections. So our first one's going to be on September the 17th. We're flip-flopping. So elementary is going to secondary staff, secondary is coming here to kind of start. So each campus has an idea of what the other campus does. And so we're going to try to do different activities and events throughout the year for that. And then that community engagement. So we have created opportunities we're going to do Peace Corner cafes. And that'll be an opportunity for parents to come in, and that's already on our calendar. And this was all Kathy and Eileen's idea, and just talk to parents about different subjects they want to talk about. Very similar to the way Dr. John does his donuts with the parents, and then community workshop nights. Secondary, same thing. It's going to be focused on ELA and math learning goals. Theirs is really going to focus on those the lowest 25%, and then also our ESE kids. And so you'll see their goals there that they want to specifically pull out for both populations. They too want to work on that cross campus, and then they also want to work on opportunities for the community to come in. And so they also are going to do community events. And then we have our PLC big rocks. So, I want, as we were studying and looking at this, 100% PLCs to be fully implemented by the end of the year. We're really going to focus on taking it slow to build a true professional learning community. I feel like we say PLCs, there's a professional learning communities. It's almost like a bad word in education, because it's just been another meeting that people have to sit through. And so I really want us to take time to truly become a learning community. We ask our kids to become learning communities, while also want our staff to be able to have that safety net of having a learning community. And we have a lot of experts here. And so that's what Melissa is really working with administrators, and we identified facilitators and working through that step to, by the end of the year, to have a fully functioning PLC. With those professional learning communities, our goal is to be able to show how that ties right into MTSS and response to intervention for RTI. And those questions that we're asking in professional learning communities are going to tie right over into MTSS. So those two really closely align, but I don't want it to be something we just put on paper and it looks good. So what I've done with principals is we have the overall PLC that's between both communities, but then we have an action plan that's actioned out by 30, 60, 90 days, all the way for the end of the year. And we really sat down and dug in, I don't know, principals may have gotten aggravated with me. I kept saying, but how? But why? What does that look like? I want specifics. I want to know, because I feel like what we really put down on paper and monitor and hold ourselves accountable to, will follow through on. And so we already have, I think on the 9th, we already have our follow-up for August activities. Where are we at? What went right? What went wrong? What does it go for next month? And so that way, maybe we, hopefully we can just stay on track, because as an administrator, you pull it every different way. So that is our overall goal. With that said, though, I want to be very clear. This is the academic side. We are not forgetting the whole child. So I already have a meeting. I've actually sent an email today that I want to meet with our social workers, our school counselor, We also, they really want to confuse me. We hired another Kathleen, who is the dean here. So Kathleen came. So when I say Kathleen, I'm like, y'all are killing me because the both, but have a meeting with them and start talking about the importance of their piece in intervention, and then making that connection between academics and behavior and social emotional. So, and looking at our tier 1 supports in classrooms for mental health, social emotional behaviors, but then also what are we doing for tier 2 and tier 3? So that is the other important piece of that. So I don't want us to forget that. We are really talking about academics because that's easier to measure, but we also want to make sure that that whole child is always at the forefront of everything that we do. So that's a lot of work that we've worked on over the summer and that we'll continue to work on throughout the year. Any questions about that? Or a lot of stuff for?
No, you guys have been busy. It sounds like it's paying off and things are getting into place. One thing I would just note for our public, our community is that I think when your goal is to reduce MTSS, this number of students in there, that doesn't mean that you're just taking kids who have, you know, certain needs and saying, oh, you just don't get services anymore, right? That's like you're supporting, you're elevating that student so that those needs are not needed. So the additional services are not needed. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that one little piece there. They understand that
Absolutely.
that's what we're working on is bolstering our skills and students so that they no longer fit into that tiered system. They are now performing at a higher level.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that. Yes. So that is the overall goal, is really strengthening our tier 1 instruction to ensure that we don't have those large gaps to begin with. So definitely, we're not just going to say, we're going to throw out 10% of our population. That is not going to happen either, but we are going to, and then put systems in place. I think I said to somebody today, people are going to get so sick of me talking about systems, but I plan on getting systems in place. And so that was other updates. I know we talked about Easy Suite and that rollout. We actually met today with Cindy and Kiana and this whole crew here and talked about what's our system. Let's get it on paper. So then that way somebody, comes into a new position, they'll say, this is my part in that system. We talked about volunteers and that system that was put into place. So we'll, again, the key about a system is revisiting that and making sure that we plan it, we study it, and then decide if we need to change something. Year at a glance, I'm excited to get all of that down. It was a lot of information. I still haven't sent out about the testing side of that, like, hey, these dates are testing, but I hope, that helps parents, because that was one of the things from the feedback. I know this is finance more, but we are going to have to schedule a board meeting for the end of September because we met with the auditor today. Yes. And so there's no way he can have it ready by September the 9th, but it's due to the OCPS in the state by October 1st. So that'll be just something before we leave. We need to get that.
Yeah, that will probably be a September 30th thing, because I remember last time we were like
Right
really down to the wire waiting on the auditing to come in. So I would say, let's make it as late as we can on that.
So before we leave, we'll definitely.
Yeah, we'll add that with our scheduling stuff.
Safe school plans will need to be approved next month. That's coming up. I know we talked a little bit about that next week or last week. And then also, we'll work on out of field teachers and make sure that that's rolling for you all. The other big thing that's at the forefront is enrollment. And so after my meeting with the registrars on Easy Suites, they shared with me numbers. We are down enrollment. We're down 48 students across both campuses. One of the things is our wait list isn't where it needs to be. So, we opened up the extra primary classroom for 15 kids. Unfortunately, we struggled getting 3 and 4 year olds, and we don't have a wait list for 3 and 4 year olds. And so we decided, okay, we're going to look at turning that into a kindergarten classroom. So that means that we needed 102 students. We currently have 87 enrolled and 9 in progress of enrolling. So we're at 96. So we are short there. We do have a wait list there of 27 kids. So Kiana's on that, getting that through. We are at first grade. right at where we need to be. We do have a wait list of 57 kids there. The good thing is we can play with like our K1, 2. We can move numbers around because they're all in the same classroom together.
Heather, will you be adding kindergartners to the new primary? Is that what you're?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that classroom is
So you'll
gonna
fill
be
it.
mostly made up of kindergarten.
Okay.
We are also down 5 kids in, second grade. So we do have some kids, in
And no wait
progress.
list.
We have 7 kids for that. Third grade, we are, 3 kids away, but she is making offers. And I will say, some of these kids we have offers already out
Right.
there for. We have 21 on the wait list. Where we are struggling is Upper Apple. In the budget, if you recall, I did not budget for the new classroom yet because I don't like to budget off of a wish. But we are down 21 kids in Upper Apple
That's
with no wait list.
that's with the classroom.
Yeah, that's with the classroom. Now, that's not in my budgeted numbers.
Yeah.
Because I didn't budget for those yet. But we are down with no wait list. We have 1 kid on the wait list.
Were those families who left or?
Yeah, well, we opened the new classroom.
So we grew a little, offered.
Yeah,
So we opened up, what, 40 spaces?
no, we only opened the 22.
Because it's like a half suite.
Yeah, we only did a half suite. So. High school is where we're really struggling. We're down 41 students. And we have no wait list.
Okay.
So I say all of that. I did meet with NPR to look at possibly putting an ad in. I have asked, Kiana and Cindy had said they were going to go back on poll to see we did it a few years ago. Did we get anything from it? I did put out in our weekly update asking for people who would like to be on a recruitment PR. And when she said, I got PR, I'm like, tag. I did have 2 parents to reach out and say they would be interested. So I was hoping to get a couple more, but I really think we have to invest in recruiting.
Yeah.
I think that's where we are missing. We've just always relied on, people always just want to be here, kind of thing, which, I mean, I know people do, but is getting our wait list.
Well, we're bigger now too,
Yeah,
so that's something you have to consider. So that
Yeah.
word of mouth is fine for a smaller number of kiddos, but now we are a large school. So
Right.
yeah, we definitely need to put some focus there. So that's good.
Yeah, because, I mean, I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but our budget is written off of 935 kids.
Yeah.
And that's not where we're at. So we really have to look to say, what do we need to do to get kids in before FTE?
What is it? October what?
We looked today, I think it starts the end of September and rolls into the first week of October. I know Cindy's on here, working on it, but we looked at it today. She told me.
Yeah.
So what is our current total enrollment?
Our current total enrollment is, hold on, 8. Sorry, I gotta do math.
Well, we're 48 students down, right? So
Yeah. $887.
Yeah.
So we've got and here's the thing, we can't even wait until October because it takes time to process kiddos. I know that both of our registrars are working really, really hard to try to get, especially, I know Cindy's working really hard, but she don't have a lot of kids on the wait list, but Kiana has, got her offers out. We're doing like a 24-hour turnaround. I know Kathy's been calling kids on the wait list as well, just to get people, hey, it's out there kind of thing. So yeah, we definitely have to start that recruitment now. Getting out there. I even had it put on all of the local Facebook pages if it was approved, like the Cody rent review, rave, all that kind of stuff, just trying to get that out there that way. But I think we really just need a good marketing.
Yeah. Moving forward.
Yeah.
I think we need that. Yeah. I agree.
Did we have any connections with these new neighborhoods that are right around the roundabout. I mean, they're open now. There's
Yeah.
families living there. I don't know if
Yeah.
there was been any reach out.
No, I mean, to be very transparent, we have not,
Yeah.
like I said, we've just relied on, we've always had a wait list.
Yeah.
I know when they first started growing, that happened, but I think the last few years we've gotten really relaxed of, oh, we have kids.
Well, I mean, I got, I don't know, 7 text messages from OCPS this summer about enrolling, right? So they were pushing enrollment because they're way down, right? Like in
Yes.
general, the counties are Orange County is way down on enrollment. So I think that they had to do a campaign to get students in for public school as well. So
Right.
it's, you know.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. So I will give you an update on that. The charter schools came together, was frustrated about the whole OCPS thing. Arnold Law Firm actually contacted all of the charter schools when they found out about it. So they have sent a letter to OCPS, pretty much stating, you know, we think you're in violation of using our student data.
Yeah.
You know, because you also have an unfair advantage. Do we get options to recruit to your kids?
Right.
So there hasn't been an update from that.
All of those.
Yeah.
That's just from OCPS recruiting.
Right. We did find out they hired a recruiting team, and I think if they get the recruiting team gets $1,000 for every kid that moves over. That's what they're paying. So they.
Yeah, I don't think that's, I'm glad that Arnold is doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I mean, we don't get access to their student data to be able to do that.
No.
So I'm not sure what's going to come of that.
Heather, as far as the PR goes, I know we sometimes do like ad hoc committees. I mean, do you think it's worth like pulling together a committee of folks to gather community members to try and help with it? I mean, if we've got to fill
Yeah.
seats in the next month, we probably don't have
Yeah.
too much time to be.
That's what I was kind of hoping that
Yeah.
when I put that out, like, hey, we need to. So I thought, well, we'll talk about it tonight,
Yeah.
and then I've got to do my video for this week. I was going to put out another.
Just pick a day and
Hey,
time when you want people to
Yeah.
meet on Zoom or something,
Okay.
and let's blast it out and see and grab some people, and you know, hopefully one of us can be on there
Okay.
too to support.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try and be on there. I have
Yeah.
some thoughts. I mean, I'm thinking about additional tours, you know, just like having parents invite friends.
Right.
You know, the tours,
Mhm.
I mean, tour sold me.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing.
Yeah. Well, and that's what Cindy did talk about. She talked about today, like, looking
high
at
school,
possibly
too.
doing a high school
Mhm.
tour, like they come out.
Nobody
making a
knows.
huge,
You're just
big
driving
event.
by, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, like, hey, this is what we have to
Yeah.
offer. Those sorts of things.
Well, I like that we have the signage out there now. I don't know if there would be any, I think that has probably helped having
Yeah.
some signs out in front of that and that campus, but
Yeah.
they're smaller, right? So I don't, you know, I don't know what the cost of a marquee per se is out there,
Yeah.
but
Or even if you share that language you're using on Facebook, I mean, between us, we're probably in like all the moms groups, you know,
Thing
we
out
can
there.
get it out there further.
Right.
Yeah.
Like even if we could have a nice graphic going to pediatricians' offices and all of those kind of things, you know, is, hey, we're out here. Because I'm not sure everybody knows that too, that, you know, I've talked to people that they didn't realize that there was a free public Montessori school in Orange County.
no. Yeah, it's just not.
And it was historically very hard to get in.
Yes.
Right.
So, I mean, folks may not even think to look back if they've looked and applied a couple times and not gotten in.
Right.
They may have written off any chances and not realized
Yeah.
that there might be a
That's
chance.
part of
now.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll get that out. I'm really thinking if I could do a quick turnaround of even next week of a
Mhm.
meeting,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like the
finish.
initial, like, hey, let's get it out there. Can somebody do the graphics? Can somebody, because the 2 parents I've already spoken to told me a Tuesday or Wednesday was good for them. But maybe we start off with a Zoom. Hey, this is what we need. This is where we're at. And
Yeah.
then maybe people would say volunteer to do
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah, sounds good.
You know, and maybe we get to the point where we need to look at hiring.
Yeah.
A part-time marketing.
Firm of some sort,
Yeah,
right?
like,
Yeah.
hey, help us with
Yeah.
it.
Let's go in-house first. I feel like
Yeah.
push there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Those
something
volunteer
on
hours.
next spring. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's home volunteer hours.
Right?
Those are home volunteer
gonna be right
hours.
up
That's
some
what
of
we need to
that.
say again. Those are home volunteer hours.
Yeah. Log on to this Zoom, put your name in the chat.
Drive to the
Get the
different pediatricians'
Yeah.
office to put the
Oh, yeah.
flyers up, right? Like,
every time you take your kid to the doctor.
I know.
Do we have materials that we could pass out? Like, I think it'd be a good idea to hit some of the preschools up and even the other Montessori world that's K-8, so we can kind of encourage them to naturally port over.
Yeah, I would have to go back through files to see if they left prior marketing flyers. I've not seen any.
Okay.
They may have.
I think it's
before.
something that we could create in Canva in about 25 minutes, probably, right?
I love
So,
Canva.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of our update.
Works.
Thanks very much.
Just let us know when you are scheduling that.
Okay.
Send us a email or invite or whatever, get us on and whoever will join in. That will be great.
All right. Well, next up on the agenda, we have Karen with our PTO update.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Karen.
First, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone that works for IMO. We are so thankful for a great start to the year. It feels different on campus, and I think it's worth sharing that. So I think everything that y'all are saying is true to form. It definitely seems like we're off to the races in a great way. So I'm excited for the year ahead. Let's see. We have, with the PTO, we've participated or held a few things so far, and we have more to come. We did offer a small breakfast, a little welcome back to our teachers as they started back. We were at Meet the Teacher, of course, and sold a good bit of merchandise and had a lot of memberships started. And we held the Boohoo or Yahoo meetup for families that are new to IMO. So those we have been engaged in so far. We are working with Kathy and Eileen on the library bus and getting it painted specifically. We have the concept, and so we were interested in doing it over the summer, but the summer rains and travel and the artists were consumed, and so we're waiting for it to settle a little bit, hopefully not have a terrible storm season this fall. But we do have our idea and we're excited to implement it. One of the sides of the bus will incorporate a lot of the kids. We're going to use their handprints. So we're excited. We do have a big fundraiser that brings in some moolah going right now, the Papa John's Nifty 50 program, and it does end next Wednesday, I do believe. So make sure to buy one. And yeah, the rest of the year, we have lots of great activities and fundraising planned and are here to really just build community with the PTO and with all of our families. So keep an eye on Parent Square, and thanks. Thanks for all your support.
Thank you, Karen.
Is that on the website, the Nifty 50 thing, on our website purchase, or does it have to be purchased somewhere else?
I think it's on Parent Square, and then there's a QR code at Carla.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's on the PTO Owl site. I just bought mine today. All right. Thank you so much, Karen. We appreciate you. Okay. Next up, we've got our finance update. And Lily, are you going to be running that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening. So I am Lily, and we are going to talk about our June financials, which is basically how we ended also the 24-25 fiscal year. And one of the things that I just want to highlight on that is we did end the year with a 1.4 million surplus. We had budgeted with a 11.2 in revenue, and we ended the year with 11.7. Keep in mind that a lot of that also involved ESSER money that we are not going to be seeing anymore after that. So, talking about fundraisings and PR and all that kind of stuff, that's also very exciting. One thing I do want to mention, and Heather, Kevin, and I did meet, I believe it was in May, to talk about investment opportunities. As you know, we have reserve money. We also need to look at the fact that there are big projects coming up in the next year, next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So as we look at our reserve money and the things that are coming up, I think, hey, you know, that money sitting there in reserve, how do we make it grow? I have been in touch with some investment folks. And so that is actually, I don't want to go into too much detail because as I have been speaking with them, the next step is to then get into a meeting with Heather and Kevin to see what they can offer and help us, you know, invest our money, because right now that money is only yielding a 0.01%, which it's very sad and heartbreaking, and we don't want that. So that's something I want to highlight as far as looking into the next year and the future of the company. As far as expenses, we were budgeted to spend 10.8. We spent 10.3 million. And so, yeah, that left us with a surplus of 1.4. Again, we don't want to get all excited that we have all this money here, because we do need to plan and budget and make sure that we are, you know, taking care of our most important needs and not, you know, end up in how we were, I guess, 2 years ago. So I do like to say that I am very proud of where we have come from 23, 24 to now. And when we look also at our bond, we are at 76 days cash on hand with a 1.5 debt service coverage ratio and a 19% cash reserves as a percentage of revenue.
Lily, can you repeat how many days cash on hand? we have?
76.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions on that?
Yeah, you mentioned,
New company, Jimmy, are they communicating strongly, or
Oh.
feeling supported by them?
Yes, so as far as the, you know, the financial and back office part, they actually weren't able to make it tonight, so they apologize about that.
That's why I was asking about, that's not over here.
No, they were here from 6:30 to 6:50. So just so you know, you guys missed it. Yeah, but they were on, and then I guess then it just landed on me.
Yeah.
But no, they've been handling a lot. Like right now, we're in the middle of working through the audit with our auditor as well. They've been very helpful in providing all the information. Now what's left is the information that us as a school needs to give him. That's why we also met with him today. And that is, I mean, he's pushing to have it due by the beginning of September, but there's no promises. So we are looking at middle of September. And of course, that's due to district in October. They
Auditor last year, correct?
Yes, Tim Price. Also with the whole Easy Sweep part, I know we talked a lot about the implementation, how we as a team in admin have been working together. One of the biggest things in that is it replaced Schoolmint, the lottery. So for example, Cindy and Kiana are you know, our big role folks in the system as it then channels through everything. So yes, this summer was a pretty big project, and we're looking that for next school year, you know, it'll be easier because then parents would just apply, they do the lottery, and then it all goes through. But now we also have to look at the back side of it, which are the financials. And so SFS and I have already started looking into that because we started collecting payments in August with student supply fee, tuitions, and food. And so we already started, you know, pulling those reports. They started pulling those reports. So that's something that us in all our meetings with Easy Suite haven't talked about, but it's happening, you know, between SFS and I as we start preparing to close out August and present that in September. So hopefully all that goes very smoothly. One of the things as we finish out the month of August and everybody settled in with everything happening, is really get deeper into our budget, our financials. I have started looking into all of our internal accounts because yeah, we have operations and all that kind of stuff, base, casa, and lunch, but we also have those one-offs like safety patrol, for example, and those are things that, you know, SFS and I really look into and go into a lot of detail to make sure that those are allocated correctly, so we can also help clubs like chess, you know, be able to run and get good sponsorship. So that is something I'm looking forward starting in September, also with Heather sitting and really looking at everything in detail in each department and make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success for the remaining of the school year. The construction part of funds and everything, that already completed. The money has been slowly coming in. I've been submitting things here and there as I had been waiting for COIs and W-9s because they didn't send them on time. So with everything happening in the beginning of school year, you know, I'm slowly submitting them and slowly starting to see them. And so hopefully by the end of August, we have everything reimbursed that happened with the construction. So that should, you know, have a washout in the expenses that we had with construction because it was about $73,000. So we're good on that end. And with I just want to also like emphasize so that all our teachers know your first paycheck of the new school year is August 31st, all the way to August 15th. And so you know, that's another thing started working on this week is making sure all of our new hires are in and with all the correct numbers and getting everything ready for August 31st payroll. Think that's all for me. Does anybody have questions?
I had a question. You mentioned an acronym that funding will stop.
ESSER.
ESSER?
Yeah.
And how much is that? Or what is the
That was like
amount
COVID
that's gonna
funds,
stop?
emergency
Yeah.
school support.
Oh,
Yes.
but how
So,
much is that chunk? Like,
well,
that we have
so
to account
the
for?
first one we gave, the first time it came through ESSER money, I can't tell you specifically what it was here, but like the district I came from, you're talking millions of dollars. Here, I would say probably 500,000. Then they came around with ESSER 2 funds, and it was supposed to be able to buy supplies for like, at the beginning was all the COVID supplies, cleaning supplies, masks, all those kind of things. And then ESSER 2 money came in, and then ESSER 3 money came in, and that was for, in addition to all of the cleaning stuff, to start trying to do recovery academics. ESSER money ended last school year. So the last round for us was like 1.5 million. And so it finished up last year. So we knew coming into the budget that we couldn't put any more funding. So unfortunately, like when I came in, we started having to non-renew staff because they were I hate to say fault, but we used ESSER money to fund their salary. And so, but what she was saying was it really ran out the year before, so 23, 24, but what we had to do was pay for it up front and submit it to OCPS and they would reimburse us. Their reimbursements were running behind. So we didn't actually get the money until July, and it was like $650,000 of reimbursements because they were so far behind. So July and August, but it was for the year before. So we didn't budget any money for that because we knew there was no more, but it looked like we got this big influx of money, but really it was on the year before budget.
Thank
For
you.
that, yeah. And they, you know, they didn't do anything to offset it.
Quick question on, I see the website has the easy suite in there for the parent pool, with the supply fee is in there. But I don't recall, where's the communication or for that, for the school? Have I missed it?
For the school, what do you mean?
Like, for the parents to go on here and pay for the supply fee for easy, or for, yeah.
If you go on the very first page and you scroll down,
Oh, I see it. I'm
Yeah.
saying, where's the has there been a push communication from the school to remind families that this is where you go to pay this?
say that,
Yes, some of us may have completely forgotten about it and could use a reminder.
okay.
Okay, yeah, it's
out where to pay it.
it's
Like,
pushed
especially
through-
on my phone.
through Easy Suite, so we would just have to do another push.
Yeah, so it goes to, it went to every individual parent's email.
Okay.
So they use the upload that when you, that through Schoolment or through Skyward, they use that email. And so every parent got an email that way. But, and then I had just sent out in my video week before last, hey, don't forget, you'll get a personalized email that said it's coming.
I don't know
Very
that I've
quickly, the website, so that might be another,
Yeah.
like, this week, I don't know if it include that.
Yeah, I
like,
can.
Hey, if you lost your email or it's
Yeah.
buried,
Yeah,
And-
it's here.
you don't want me to look at how many emails are in my Gmail.
It took me a bit to sign up, so I'm wondering if like, I don't know if that might, because I don't remember getting it. I don't think I got it.
I got something for base, but I feel like
I didn't get anything for base either. I wonder if you didn't get it if you hadn't yet enrolled. So I would definitely push it out again. Yeah.
Heather and Cindy, would you like me to jump in with
Yeah.
what we did?
Yeah.
Yep. See Cindy's hands.
So I sent out in Schoolment to all of our new and returning, as well as in Parent Square, with the instructions with the 3 steps.
Okay.
It's in English and in Spanish, and then anyone who's enrolled since that gets it individually as they register.
Okay.
From Kiana or I. But I can certainly push it out again. The other thing that I was going to do with Kiana and Hilda is we were going to pull a list of any families that are inactive so that we can just push it back to those families only.
Yeah.
This is an area where, I believe in over communicating versus
Yeah.
under communicating.
And I'll just add it to my weekly video.
Yeah.
that I'm gonna do.
Well, and I see that it's on the website too, and that makes it really easy. Like, I went to
Yeah.
the website and it's really clearly listed there under student fees, right? So under school life, student fees, and pay your fees. So
Yeah.
that part is good.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, Lily, anything else or any questions for Lily?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we do have a couple of additional board discussion topics to go over. So first, I've added the draft of the 25-26 board meeting schedule for your review. So much of it is similar to as it was last year. In general, our meeting is the second Tuesday of each month. Obviously, this month we moved it back to the third Tuesday because last week was the first week of school. There were a few discrepancies that I've highlighted here. In October, I will be out of town on that second Tuesday in October. So unless someone else wants to run the meeting, I was hoping maybe we could move it to the 7th or the 21st. Does anyone have a?
Maybe meeting at the end of September for that audit. I would say let's push it to the
21st?
21st.
Okay.
Would probably be my preference on that, knowing that we're gonna have that special committee on probably the 30th.
Okay. Does anyone have an issue with that date? All right. So we'll go ahead and call that. I do have a couple of board and admin retreats that won't affect any of the general public or the staff or the teachers or anyone. That's just for us. So we can probably discuss those offline and figure out if that's, unless you want to talk about them now.
Good feedback and you're pushing in for those, anybody who's gonna take the whole week to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The 15th, if that would work for, that's a Sunday, right?
That's a Saturday. So the 16th would be the Sunday. We could do either one, whichever y'all prefer.
Um, I would say typically
The Sunday, the 16th. Okay.
But the afternoon after.
I think we did 12.
Like 12 to 4 is what we did
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah.
All right. So November 16th, 12 to 4. We can do that.
And then the other one is March, you're looking at?
Yep. Yeah. So January. Last year we did not have a December meeting. I followed suit with that. So then we come back after the break, January 13th. And again, that would be the second Tuesday. So that one's on schedule. We have February 10th. Then March is our second retreat. So I think those are Saturdays as well. So it should either be the 8th or the 29th. I don't know.
I would push out spring break.
After.
I think everybody's mindset might be a little bit better.
Okay. 29th.
I'm assuming that spring break is week before. I don't know what week we have on the calendar for spring break. Anybody?
If I was smart, I checked that before I wrote this. We'll see if
I think it's the 20th,
No, say it's the 16th through the
The week of
20th.
Yeah.
Okay. I did check that, and I probably also checked to make sure it wasn't Easter or Passover.
Oh, yeah, that's
Palm
the other.
Sunday.
It's Palm Sunday. All right. Okay. All right. So March 29th for that spring retreat, and then the rest of the meetings were all second Tuesdays as usual. All right. Do we need to vote on this, or is this okay? Good. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. All right. Next up for us. So we don't yet have our 25 to 26 board goals in place. So I thought maybe we could chat about those here. I did copy over our last year goals in case we want to use that as a starting point. So last year our goals were to maintain a strong set of board members, between 6 to 8 members, to monitor and support our stable financial outlook, board succession planning and cross-training, and supporting the executive director to establish and monitor accountability metrics for financials, academics, and communications.
Into that improvement.
Okay.
Goal on there, knowing that that is a big area of focus that I think that we probably should put some attention to. So even just to work to increase and maintain a healthy wait list for all levels of the school, right? And then let's put it on our list as well, so that doesn't fall off our plate. But that's really important for school.
Okay.
We had discussed last board meeting, and that's how we got to those 2 retreats was increased board accessibility engagement with school leaders. So reinvigorating board members being on campus, more integration with staff. We had some other notes in your bagels. We did the planning meeting, the admin, but just to continue that focus throughout the year.
I think that would be fine to depending on what we have. Some of those are going to be ones that we have every year, but I like that as an additional focus for the year as well. Right?
Yeah.
Like just to increase overall board engagement with the school and administration to keep it going.
With the school community and administration team.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we should put parents in there too. I'd like them to feel more comfortable coming to us with
Okay.
questions, concerns.
It was board accessibility and engagement.
Yes. With
leaders.
school leaders.
And I guess, and community.
School leaders and community.
One thing I'm gonna throw out there is that I think our board documents are quite dated. Not that that's a fun task, but I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Just our bylaws, some things that I've sent to you, Heather, and you're like, is this the latest? Like 2013 or something.
It says Winter Garden Montessori.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things we should probably tackle.
Yeah,
Seems like a little project.
right. Now, do we think that, right? Do we think that should be a board goal or like on our list of official board goals, or should that be a project?
Break down a section every board meeting if you wanna, like, if you bring a section, like, send it to us in advance, like, hey, let's look at drafting or editing this, we work on it as a team, and then we approve it at us in the following meeting, maybe, that way it's not such a cumbersome task all year, maybe we just break it up that way too.
I know sometimes we have an ad hoc governance meeting. It feels like there should be like a working time and then maybe a review time.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Drive
Um,
modernization of schools.
Just, yeah, like updating board documents, bylaws.
Update school documentation to reflect.
Governance stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We knew like the first member.
Yeah, that's your jam.
I would like to
Different
add
current
having
systems and
more
processes.
documents to review in advance. I feel like I'm not as prepared, like when I have more to review, like if we could get all the committees and everybody who's presenting to put their report up on the site ahead of time, that way I feel like it'll be a more fruitful discussion. I feel like I'm playing catch up more in these meetings, so if there's a way to add that to a goal.
Provide transparency with.
Or like,
It's more of a request. I think it's a
yeah,
good request.
yeah.
I'd like
Maybe not a
to
board
do
goal.
that, but I just think we
Yeah.
have better, more robust discussions if we'd already workshop solutions.
Yeah.
those. I don't have to say that as a goal. Maybe that's a request.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
All right.
So how many goals are we at?
So I did not call that last one a goal. So we're at, oh wait, hold on one second. Let me just finish my, oh, I did want to go back for the first one where we have maintain a strong set of board members between 6 to 8 members. I don't know if it's just me, but I would love to see that bigger. I feel like we've got a lot of transitions and, we're getting new folks, but then, Carla's no longer on the board. So I feel like I would love to see it grow even further so that we've got a more robust board, and when people do inevitably come and go, then we're not like scrambling to have, because 6 seems really thin to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pieces that you were wanting people to work on.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. Like I would love to have the goal be like 8 to 10, and then, then even if we're at the bare minimum, 8 still feels like a pretty solid group and leaves some room. So you're not like, wait, we need to replace an executive and we've got no one, I think that allows more room. More wiggle room.
I agree.
Can you look at adding a board member, but like with specifics, like, hey, you're coming on to work on this committee? You know what I mean? So you're on the board, but you're over enrollment.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
you're in
assignment task.
whatever their expertise are.
Yeah.
Then that's where they're helping, in that. Don't you like how I said that? And I didn't even mean.
If you were potentially being recruited.
Well, even on the, like, we talk about the finance side, helping up there too, being on that committee. And
Yeah.
to see that was the other board member. There you go.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
on there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like, cause I mean, we're talking about fundraising and, not just small fundraising, but large.
Right, and I think outside of the executive team, because they, you have different areas in that executive team where you're already focused.
Yeah.
So definitely outside of your, like treasurer, right, like, where you are, secretary, a boatload of extra work that you're just doing just to keep things alive, right?
Yeah.
So I think that if you're not on that executive team for sure, then we should have you slated into a focus area, 100%.
Get ready, Sarah and Simon.
I'm excited. Thank you. I need a little project.
What is your?
Tim asked about the board.
Well, I don't know. What do you need me? I'm just general enthusiasm.
I think you'd be awesome in governance, I was gonna say that because of your
Oh, yeah.
legal
Yeah.
background.
Yeah, I feel when I was interviewing, I think there was more focus. It was like if you have expertise in these areas, this is what we're looking for right now. Then we were pretty thin for a while, so we were kind of anyone please come help us. Yeah, but now we're building up some strength again, so maybe we can kind of focus that recruitment. But yeah, I would like to propose to bump it to 8 to 10 unless.
I think that's a good.
Okay.
Yeah. What does it say in our bylaws? Isn't it 10?
I feel like 13 is the max.
13 is the max,
Is
but
that-
the goal of 10, right?
I will need to reread this.
I feel like there's two bylaws and one of them. I couldn't tell if it was.
Oh, it was really old. The one I read was real old.
Right.
Which we will revise as we update school documentation and board governance documents to reflect our current systems and processes.
Yeah. I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that that's our goal to get us there either.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I feel like the other three that were carryovers, so monitor and support IMO's stable financial outlook, board succession planning and cross-training, and support the executive director to establish and monitor accountability metrics for financials, academics, and communications. I feel like those are probably strong carryover goals for.
Yeah, we could just combine
Yeah, I
the
was
first and the board succession plan
Yep.
and add in the piece to make sure that every board member has an additional focus area of support too, right? Like that could be all one goal.
Okay.
Throw some M dashes in there according to ChatGPT.
Looking at the bylaws online, it says no less than 3, preference of 10.
Yeah.
Directors.
Yeah.
I'm for the win.
Yeah.
Thank you, time.
Okay.
Sometimes it's easier to get a forum.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay. And did I miss something here in that? So maintain a strong set to bolster board succession planning and cross training, and then and establish
Committee
Yeah.
involvement.
Committee focus for each member.
Okay.
We do have that one goal of supporting administrative team financially come up. If we want to move the recruitment up to that goal, I mean, it's an addition. Or if we want to call it out separately.
I think we should have it as its own separate goal for this year, and then let's see how that goes at the end of next year. If we might then just add a continuation of, enrollment at the end of it. But I think I still would like to see it as their goal, just knowing that we've got seats to fill.
Catch everything there.
Yeah, I think we got it all.
Okay. All right, cool.
Everybody like fill that out, like over there, what do
Yes. Stephen, could I request an extension cord and power strip for the next meeting? You're the best. Stacy's in a corner.
So the IT rule is when the laptops die, the meeting has to end.
Cool. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, mine's
All right. So our next topic was I got an email. And I have not had too much time to review this, admittedly, but I got an email from our board docs folks. So board docs, for those of us who don't know, is it's the platform that houses all of our agendas and meeting documents and everything. So their platform is migrating. It's the same company, but they're sunsetting board docs and moving it to I forget what the new name is, but Board Docs 2.0. And it sounds like we have no choice. We have to do this, and they're sunsetting Board Docs at the end of September on the 28th. So this is urgent. I will ask that. It does sound like they're gonna do the heavy lifting on all of the tech stuff. They said they'll port over all the data. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like a big lift for us, but only been in this role for like a hot second, so I don't want to do anything without talking about it. Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't anticipate any issue for us.
Yeah.
We need, having this has been a key piece of our
Yes.
transparency increase over the last 3 or 4 years. How long have we had our 4 years now?
It's before me.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
So it definitely has aided that piece, and it's a good place to just have all of our docs and save it there and
Yeah.
work for it. My only concern is if there's an increase in price.
Okay.
Then we would need to, and if that's the case, then we might need to quickly look and farm something else out, with the shopping.
Yep.
And
Yep.
security, that would be the only other piece too on the IT side, like, is it?
Okay.
But it sounds like they just got that bought out by somebody else and.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even like they might have developed a better platform and are no longer supporting.
Yeah.
Right.
They can't just flip it, they have to.
Yeah. That's what I got from it, but, okay, so costs, so,
So if you send me the like proposal that they have, I'll go through it again. Board Docs was my very first project with Kristen
Yeah.
when I first got here in October. So I remember doing that. But if you send me the contract, I'll go through it, but it'll be a standard thing.
okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
That seems like a good money saving opportunity, asking for a discount or a trial period, anytime they're doing something new.
This issue.
Yeah.
Get it.
Exactly.
We just lost our ESSER funds.
I'll make a motion to approve, continuing with board docs and migrating pending no changes in financial requirements.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you very much.
Where's Kevin when I need a motion?
Okay. All right, and the last topic I had in this section was just discussing board candidate interview scheduling. Was that something that we wanted to discuss that in this meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Provide a little update on some of that.
Okay.
That's what's
So we were progressing with a candidate, Basharat, who's now stepping away from it for a little bit because she had a change in work. So I think we're gonna continue the process with our candidates who spoke tonight, and so I don't know if Stacey may have anything to add to that, but we will, I'm keeping that piece of the secretary duties, and we do traditionally, they meet with at least 2 other board members, and they attend 3 meetings.
And I think that, we were going to move with Cash moving into an interview in September, but you're saying that would be a hold.
Right.
Okay, so she's pulled back until she figures that out, okay.
Yes.
I also met with Karen today, and so I would push on for an interview with her before the September meeting if we have that available, and then schedule have Chris, right? To go ahead and start the process with him, and this is his first board meeting, so
Yeah.
it's gonna take a longer that process, but.
Yeah, if he's still on, if he could connect with me, I need to circulate his resume and letter of interest to have it.
Sure, yeah. Just let me know what you need. I'm happy to send that over and get that process started.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
So when you say interview prior to the September meeting, do you want to do it if, pending Karen's availability at like 5:30 that day? Is that?
It's 15th. No, the
9th, September 9th.
That works for me. Just a little before the board meeting.
Karen, do you know if that works for you?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. All right, so 5:30 on the 9th is scheduled, and Chris and Marissa will connect. Okay, you're very welcome. All right. Okay, so next up, we've got our committee updates. So let me just check here.
So I had not updated that content there. I was happy with the engagement, and I'm happy to see like how the second day went, but when we did the meet the teacher, we had our committees and there were several people signed up. So I was wanting to kind of see the greater list so I could invite kind of a revitalized larger group to focus on fundraising. We had some communications with the PTO around clarifying the focus of that, and I think we're good with including PTO members on the committee and just talking through how to be more clear of our different missions. I think that's a great point. So that is my next step, is to gather that list and then set up a recurrence of those meetings into this school year.
Awesome. Yeah, I had a note from Stacy about the list as well. Yeah, so if Sarah, did you say you've got the list?
I do have it.
Okay, cool.
At home.
Yeah, so if you could.
I texted the picture about the two. You
Oh.
should have those.
Okay, cool.
I just got a quick screenshot at the end of one of the meet the teachers. So I think everybody got it. I don't think I have anybody that was not on there. So
okay,
I'll send it to you, Sarah. So you can just
Alright.
cross-reference, and if there's somebody that's not listed.
Yeah, I'll scan them and upload them to you guys too, just so you have that. Everyone has that too.
right. Any other committee updates? I know the grant committee, we have not met yet this year. It's New Year's. I don't think we've had committee updates. All right, cool. I did have a point here and I cannot recall who we added this for, but executive committee update on leadership structure. Did I accidentally copy that over? It is possible.
Yeah, but
It is entirely possible that
I wanted to make the point, let me see what I had about the committee, the committee signups, and just reminding those folks that will reach out to them, and that if they do go to a committee meeting and participate, then that would count towards a volunteer hour. Yeah, but it would have to be participation in a committee meeting. Is that what we agreed to?
Yeah.
But
I guess
wanted to confirm.
logistically, what is, and we could talk about this offline, of the best way to capture.
If it's online, whoever's leading it needs to capture who stayed for the entire meeting and that kind of stuff. And then just send it to either Jamie or Kavita. They're housing that. And then Stephen's going to enter that in at the end of every 9 weeks. If it's on campus, I know. If it's on campus, then we'll have the pad that they can just sign in on.
How might board members enter their volunteer hours?
It's just automatically.
Marked it like 60 hours.
I'm thinking you're already finished.
I'm already finished, yeah.
So yeah, like I think it's already done. Yeah, so that and like PTO, I just said, hey, all the officers send me your names because I know that's already gonna take place.
Now, I know that attending PTO meetings is not counting. Is attending board meetings counting?
It's just like if you're working in the committees. It's not that I'm trying to be mean, but like if you think about tonight, if you're just watching it and not doing anything, right? Yeah, I want you to watch, but I mean, it's 2.5 hours that we really aren't volunteering. Like you're
right.
You're just staying up to date.
Okay.
And it's, again, it's because we really need the support.
Yeah.
On the campuses.
But if they come to your PR committee meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a committee, I feel like you're gonna take a task and go do something.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
Now, if I recall the bylaws, I do believe non-board members can run committees.
Yes, they can.
They can.
Oh,
Yeah, they can.
these.
It does, especially ad hoc.
And the staff can.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
good.
Okay. Okay.
That's it for our agenda, Kate?
Hang on one second. Oh, yep. Next up is you, Stacy.
Well, I'm super excited to hear. I think that we just heard it over and over and over again about the positive atmosphere, and that is due to an amazing team of staff who have worked their tails off, I think, this summer and getting ready, not only to plan and get everything in track for the students, but just the extra focus on the details, the extra focus to make sure that we're incorporating things that we've not incorporated for because we're looking to improve what we do. We're looking to grow. And so
I just commend this team so much, from the administration all the way down and out the field and across the lake and back around, because I think you guys have just done amazing work already with a strong start. The students are happy, they are excited to be here, and that is only because you made them feel that way. So thank you guys very, very much, and hopefully you've gotten a little bit of rest over the last couple weekends as you're recapping. I would encourage everybody to taking their vitamins so that we have a wonderful non-flu based fall. And that will be a good goal for sure. And we look forward to our first community event, which will probably be happening here pretty soon. What was the first one? I have my papers over there. The 24th, what was that I had? The open house.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So we'll have family events with us. So join and find out more about what you can do to support your team. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. We're adjourning at 8:27 p.m.